Hello all, welcome to this value-added course on Python programming for beginners. In last video, we have discussed about the functional programming and functions as first class values and lambda functions. In this video, we are going to discuss about higher order functions, map, filter and reduce functions. So coming to the higher order functions, Python enables the assignment of functions to variables, the passing of functions as arguments, and the return of functions as values. Higher order functions are the functions that accept other functions as arguments or return them as results and can be used as a result of this. Strong functional programming techniques like giving functions as parameters, returning functions from functions, and constructing functions on the fly are made possible by higher order functions. For example, we can pass a lambda function to the built-in sorted function to sort dictionary by its values. So this is the example. In this example, we are considering a dictionary and d equal to, so already we know every dictionary contains key value pair. So the key is oil and value 230, key is clip and value 150, key is stud and value is 175, nut is the key and 35 is the value. Then, so here the lambda function is passed as an argument to sorted function. So that's why d1 equal to, we are creating another dictionary, d1 equal to sorted d dot items. So we are calling the item function. So one by one and key equal to. So how we are going to sort the values means key equal to lambda kv colon kv of 1. So kv of 1 is based on value. We are going to sort the dictionary. Print d1. Print d1. So by this statement, so we are sorting the dictionary and we are printing the dictionary value. So after this, so the output will be nut 35, clip 150, stud 175, oil 230. So now we will run this program. Now this is the same program what we have discussed, and whenever we run this program, this is the output. So nut 35, clip 150, stud 175, oil 230. So in this program, the sorted function is used the argument lambda function, and based on the value the sorting has done. So that's why 35, 150, 175 and 230. What we have done in this means the sorted functions uses a parameter key. It specifies a function of one argument that is used to extract a comparison for each element in the first argument of sorted. So here we have used the function d dot items, so which is the parameter what we have used, and this one is the function. The default value of key is none. So the default value of key is none, indicating that the elements in the first argument are to be compared directly. That means we are not comparing key, we are comparing only the value. So to facilitate functional programming by Python, it will provide three higher order functions: map, filter and reduce. So before we see how to use this function, we need to first understand the map, filter and reduce operations. So now we will see what is the operation of map, filter and reduce. First coming to the map. A map operation applies a function to each element in the sequence like list, tuple, etc. So now whenever we use this map operation, it will applies to all elements. The function is applied to all elements. Okay, and it will return a new sequence containing the results. So for example, we have defined a list and we want to find out square root of all numbers in the list, and it will return the list of root values. Okay, and if you want to convert all the characters in the list to uppercase, and returning the uppercase character list. Next, coming to the reduce operation. A reduce operation performs a rolling computation to sequential pairs of values in a sequence, and it returns the results. So for example, if you want to obtain a product of a list of integers and returning product, or second example, concatenating all strings in a list and returning the final string. Usually, map, filter and reduce operations mentioned above would need for a for loop and or if statement to control the flow while iterating over elements of sequence types like strings, list, tuples. Only these are the operations. Okay, so whenever we are using these operations, we have to use either for loop or if loop. But in Python programming, if we use the functions map, filter and reduce, we do not need a for loop or if statement for control flow. This lets the programmer focus on the actual computation rather than the details of loops, branches and control flow. So now we will discuss the three functions and how to use these three functions: map, reduce and filter. So the first one is map function. So how to use the map function means there is no need of for and if loop. So directly we can use the map function. So now see here, import math. Okay, so we are importing the math function. Define function of n. Define function of n. So here n is the argument. So simply it will return n into n. N into n. Now we are going to define list. List equal to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So we are taking 5 elements. And m1 equal to map math.radians lst list. So now this is the input for this map function and math.radians. So here it will calculate. So this method is applies to every element in the list. And m2 equal to map math.factorial comma lst. So now for this entire list, for every value it will calculate the factorial value. Then m3 equal to map fun comma lst. So now the fun function. So it will use the root of the every element lst. So now, so we have calculated m1, m2, m3. So simply we are printing print list of m1 and print list of m2 and print list of m3. Okay. So now this is the general form of map function is map. So what function we have to apply, comma list of inputs, and map returns a map object which can be converted to a list using the list function. So that's why we have used the list here. So it will returns a map object, so which will be converted to a list using the list function. So now this is the program. So what we have discussed, and for this list, every element. So this function, so which will apply, and the list it will apply to each and every element in the list. So now, so in this program, we are calculating the radians of list and factorial of list and the square root of list. So we can run this program. So whenever we run this program, so here it will give the 5 radian values. So these are the 5 radian values and the 5 factorial values and the 5 root value, square root values. Now, so this is the use of map function. So that means we have to give the function and the list. The function is applied to each and every element in the list by using map function. So now we will go for seeing the second one. So that is filter function. So now what is the general form of filter function is filter function to apply, and we have to give the list of inputs, and the filter function returns a filter object which can be converted to a list using list function. So now see here, define function n if n modulus 5 equal to 0, return true. So here we are getting the return on true and false values. So now if n modulus 5 equal to 0, it will return true, else return false. So now list 1 equal to AXY 3M4D. This is the elements, and F1 equal to filter str dot is alpha list 1. So now it is comparing, the function will apply, and whichever the true value, it will be stored as a separate list. So now first we are separating alphabets. So that is A, X, Y, M, D. So by using the F1. So now we are printing the list F1 list 2 equal to 5, 10, 18, 27, 25. Now F2 equal to filter function list 2. So now we are applying this. So the number which is divisible with 5, only we are separating. So that is 5, 10, 25. So that is F2 equal to filter function comma LST2 and print list of F2. It will print only the numbers that are divisible by 5. Now we will see the execution of this program. So this is the program. So using this F1, we are going to separate the alphabets, and by using these, we are going to print the values, print the numbers which are divisible by 5 only. So now we are running this program. So now this is the output. So the same what we have expected, AXY, MD, and 5, 10, 25. Next, the last function is reduce. In Python, reduce is a built-in function that applies a given function to the elements of an iterable and reducing them to a single value. So now the syntax for this reduce is reduce, within the parentheses we can write the function and iterable, and within the brackets we can initialize the initializer also. Okay, so here the function argument is a function that takes two arguments and returns a single value. So now this is the reduce function. So first, if you want to use the reduce function, we have to import reduce from func tools. So from func tools, import reduce. So define get sum x comma y, and it will return only x plus y. And define get product x comma y, return x into y. So reduce function is reduced. So now when compared with the map and filter, so the function is applied to each and every element, and in map function it will applies to all the elements in the list, and it will produce the same number of list of elements with as a another list. But in filter we are going to reduce that list value. But here reduce function is used to, the output will be a single value. The output is a single value. So now see here, we have written get sum and get product. So now return x plus y and return x into y. So now we are taking a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and s equal to reduce get sum comma list, and p equal to reduce get prod comma list. So now first it will take two arguments. So that is 1 and 2, and it will add 1 plus 2, 3. So now x will becomes 3 and y will become 3. So next 3 plus 3, 6. So now x will contain 6 and y will be 4. So 6 plus 4, 10. So now x value will be 10 and y value will be 5. So 10 plus 5, 15. So the entire list is converted into a single value, that is 15 when you use the get sum. In the same way, when we use get product, it will also reduce to one value and it will print 120. So now here the result of addition of previous two elements is added to the next element till the end of the list. In our program, this translates into operation like, so first it will add 1 plus 2, then 1 plus 2 will be added to 3, then 1 plus 2 plus 3 will be added to 4, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 will be added to 5, and the product is also same manner. So now we will see the execution of this program. Now this is the same program, and whenever we run this program, we will get a single value. So see here. So simply first it will add all the elements in the list and it will product all the elements in the list. Now this is the general form of reduce function. So that is reduce is the keyword, then function to apply and list of inputs we have to pass. So now the reduce function operation performs a rolling computation to the sequential pair of values in a sequence and returns the result. So now if we observe that map, filter and reduce abstract away control flow of code. So this is about the higher order functions which we will use in Python programming. In this video, we have discussed about the definition of higher order function and we have discussed about the operation of map, filter and reduce and how to use the map, filter and reduce functions. In the next video, we are going to discuss about how to use these three functions using lambda and what is the use of these lambda functions using with these three functions. Okay. Thank you all for listening this video. Happy learning.